Hello. Yeah, so if you can hear me, maybe you can type hi or something like which LC you're from and things like that. We haven't actually started. So yeah, if you can hear me, you can just type so that I can know that you are already watching. Hello. Can you hear me? Okay, so I think we are gonna start in around 3 more minutes. Just to have more people to come in, then I will officially start. Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm gonna start now. Awesome. So I will once in a while go out to check on the chat if you have any questions or things. So I think generally I'm just gonna start now so that you can have so that people that come in join slowly they can join the session later, or I will start first for the people who are already here. So yay. Uh, Welcome into the EB consultancy space for B2C, which is like also marketing generally. So the reason why I put marketing is because it's basically easier to understand. Yeah. So what we are going to cover in today EB consultancy space is that we are gonna first talk about like the why of the main product that marketing is gonna support, which is outgoing global volunteer, and then after that, role of LCBP marketing. Mainly, we'll talk about like what is the key JD of LCBP marketing. As LCBP marketing, what would be the main thing that you do? And then after that, battle of LCBP marketing, which is like what is the key KPI, key MOS, but what is your goal generally? What is the thing that measure your entire journey as a LCBP marketing? And who do we work with in terms of synergy wise? Who are you working with? What department? What are the stakeholders? Timeline, as well as we'll open up space for Q&A. Aha, I started to see people coming in. Nice. Hello, KP Utah. Uh, Great. So anything you can just type in me in the chat. It will be delayed a little bit. Then I will just answer to you. Okay. Awesome. So next on, gonna talk about the objective of today's space. So understanding LCV role in managing OGV as a product from marketing perspective, and also understanding the skills and competency needed in preparation for LCVP candidacy. So first thing first, of course, I'm always gonna start with the why, because for me, basically, it's like whatever that you do, whether you are running for the position and things, a very clear thing is that you have to understand why our product exists itself, so that so that when you are running the product itself, we wouldn't have any synergy issue and wouldn't be having any relevancy issue, because the key thing of why our marketing department exists in LC is to support the growth of OGV as a product. So I think first thing first is I want to know a little bit in terms of like why do you want to be LCVP marketing? Generally, I think you can type on the chat uh, so that I can see as well. Then let me roughly understand in terms of like what brings you here and what are most of you expecting out of like LCVP marketing role itself. So you can just type well, then I can have a look as well. Like, what do you think of that? Yeah. So you can just take your time to think, because the thing is gonna be delayed a little bit. A little bit. I'm gonna read it later. Yeah. So to carry forward, of course, why do we do exchange itself? Like, why do you want to be in marketing, which is supporting OGB as a product? Or why do we do exchange itself? I think always when we are bringing back to the why, I think for myself, I came from a background who was LCVP marketing, NST marketing, always in marketing actually. And now I'm kind of like still holding the role as MCVP marketing. So the thing is that besides my love for marketing as a function itself, the key thing is that for me, OGV, or like being in an OGB product is the most direct relevancy that I can see in terms of how I'm contributing to the what or how or why of the organization is doing. So generally, if you still remember Isaac Way, how are we talking about like the kind of leadership that we develop and things like that? It's always through cross cultural exchanges and with our leadership through practical experiences. So if you know or you don't know as well, personally for I myself, I used to be a product of OGB. Like I am a product of exchange itself. And because of my own exchange experience, my own relevancy towards like a lot of more young Malaysians should go for exchanges thing is something that is very deeply rooted in my heart. So whenever I'm working as a LCVP marketing, or even now MCVP OGB, or last time NST marketing, for me it's like the most important outcome of every single thing that we do as LCVP marketing or things is to make sure that one person really go for exchange, or more people can know about exchange, so that they really embark their own journey to go for this, like what we always say, like life-changing experience and things like that. So of course, if you have figured out or you haven't figured out the why of OGB is such an important product, I would say before your application, you really need to have the conversation, follow your IGB team or whatever, to find out why the product matters so much and why do you want to put your 1 year time if you're LCB marketing just to advocate for this product, so that more young Malaysian can go for exchange itself. Yeah. So because as LCVP, remember, you will always be the guardian of why, the key person that will always remind your team to bring that back for the operations and things like that, to understand why exchange is important and why exchange needs to happen in every young person in Malaysia. Yeah. So generally, of course, going to next is about the role of LCVP. So what exactly is like the operational JD part of being an LCVP marketing? So first thing first is that if you come from public university, uh, you will know that in this term, quite some LCs that happen to have a lot more exchange in winter, which they usually do not have market, is actually because they have a very strong university relations. So what does university relation means? Basically, is like whatever partnership or university relationship that you have with your university and the authority, whether it's for endorsement of global volunteer program, or whether it's for monetary sponsorship or credit hour and all this kind of thing, so that your university become the ambassador of this leadership program itself. So examples that LC who have already established this is like UPM or UKM. I think UTP used to have it, but I'm not sure if they are still leveraging on the whole opportunity itself. So for example, university research, it comes into market research and segmentation, partnership development of UR, partnership management of UR itself. Yeah, so it starts from mapping why the program is very important to certain faculties or the university, and then you have market research, and then you have meetings, proposal to make sure you form the relationship with your university, so that you improve your results not by just like the quantity of the physical booth that you are doing or one-to-one sales and all this kind of thing, but you have partnership that help to improve your entire marketing effectively. Yeah. So far, UR is actually under the umbrella of marketing department. Yeah. So going on next is about digital attractions. Basically, in terms of digital attractions, is like so far what we are doing is mainly just these two things. Of course, when you go into planning and things, there could be more things: social media management and pre-attraction. So what happens in social media management is like it has to be aligned with physical marketing, provide national content materials, manage existing digital channels, whatever Facebook, Instagram, all this kind of digital channel that is like happening in your own local level. And then pre-attraction, when you run Facebook ads, pre-attraction marketing or leads attraction, which is like people who haven't signed up but are interested in exchange, right? So you use all these digital channel to build an entire word of mouth or entire impressions of a global volunteer program in your university to come to your physical touch point so that they apply directly on your marketing channel itself. Yeah. So if you realize these two things, they're actually kind of related in the sense that when your university is the one that like become the ambassador of your program and things, you can integrate generally in digital attraction, make use of university digital attraction, all these kind of things. Generally is that you are creating the whole environment in or community or word of mouth in your university to make sure that people started talking about that and are aware of this exchange thing that's being done by Isaac. Yeah. So a lot of those pre-attraction awareness part is done by marketing so that once you have any sort of physical touch point, physical booth, for example, people who have known this thing will actually be drawn to come and to apply for the project straight away. So you build this awareness of exchange and this understanding of people like, hey, I might be interested, but where can I apply and things before your physical marketing even happen so that people when they come they already take action. Yeah, so it makes a huge difference for LCs or people that do pre-attraction in digitally or university relation wise and those that without, because if without, only when you're at the booth you're going to start one-to-one selling stranger about, do you want to go for exchange? Either has this exchange program introducing people and things like that. But if you have done those two things well, you already built the whole thing before people even visit your booth itself. Yeah. So I think next thing, of course, is lead nurturing. So lead nurturing is that if you know the key KPI for marketing other than sign ups is apply. So of course, whatever that we say, if the person only sign up, like we are spamming sign ups, right? We have like 300 sign ups in one booth itself. But in the end of the day, if the person does not apply to any project or he or she does not actually go on exchange in the end, if you remember the first conversation that I tell you, the reason why we are doing marketing is that the relevancy is that one young person will go for exchange in the end. So for me personally, the key measurement of whether your marketing is working or not is that whether the one person actually go for exchange in the end. Yeah. So interface with sub-team OGV, attraction and conversion. First contact to make lead scoring calls are like all those people that have signed up. You want to do consultancy space to make sure they apply, or you call them to make sure they apply to project. Or based on the output of those lead scoring call, you can go into different lead nurturing flows that are planned. So for example, you want to do an info session, you want to do a coffee talk, you want to do personal meetup, booth, or whatever is it. Yeah. So that's the general picture of how marketing work in different areas. And finally is brand management. This is more like the minority part, making sure that all the marketing material that you put out there is actually aligned to the brand. So for example, in Impact 42, if you know about a digital campaign, we have sponsorship from AirAsia for flight tickets, right? But the key thing is that we are not selling free flight tickets. We are selling exchange for people who have financial issue. They can actually apply to get a free flight ticket. So what happens when brand management does not happen or brand auditing does not happen is when LCs are using sort of like, for example, hey, free flight tickets, please come to our booth. We are not an airplane company or a traveling company, for example. So that is when brand audit did not happen. And also the value proposition is totally wrong. So your role is also very much on making sure whatever message that we put out there is something that is aligned, tangible, correct, simple, and straightforward for the people or your customer to get it straight away. So another example is that if you know about marketing direction in AM as well, we no longer do global volunteer sales. So what does it mean is that when you approach a customer, you don't tell them that, hey, do you want to go for exchange? You can go to 129 countries. Because the thing is, nobody actually understand what is that, and it's not tangible. So the thing is that we do all this market research before meeting the customer. So let's say this person from Faculty of Environment wanting to go for an environment project in Indonesia. we only make sure he knows about environment project from Indonesia. So when we are promoting to the student after doing all the persona, market research and everything, we'll go to the person and we tell him directly, hey, are you interested to teach about environmental issue in Indonesia? And this is the details about it. So this whole thing is actually called project selling. And this is the current directions of how we are doing marketing. That's why we work very closely with OGV to make sure all the international relation and everything is aligned and also done properly. And we map all different kind of projects with the right message to different faculties and different customer persona. Yeah. So that is the thing. Key for key areas. Yeah. So if you go into battle of B2C in terms of like how do we measure whether B2C or marketing is actually working or not working, generally it's sign ups from different channel, number of apply, conversion from sign up to apply, process time. Sign up to apply has to happen between 24 hours. Digital metrics, which is like if you're running digital attractions or things, it could be reach, engagement, email send, open rate, click rate. Or if you're running UR, university meetings, university partnerships, or percentage of customer journey completed. Yeah. So, however, remember that as what I keep emphasizing, there's no difference between B2C and OGV as a department because ultimately, even though B2C should be the key person responsibility for sign up process and apply, but the thing is that if that one person did not go for exchange, nothing really matters in the end. Like no matter how many sign ups or apply that you get in the end, it doesn't really count. So remember, the thing is that this is always how it works in the funnel. You have a lot of people that sign up. Maybe half of them will apply, and then the funnel will keep going. And in the end, maybe out of like 7 people that you approach, only one person is able to be approved and actually going to realize. And this is already a very optimistic funnel. If you get the real marketing funnel, it's even bigger. Conversion rate is even slower. Yeah, and lower and also slower. So the key thing is that as marketing, you really have to work as one department with OGV basically to make sure that this whole funnel happen together, but not just like from OGV or from marketing side. Yeah. So a lot of the time, right, when we are talking about all these number, funnel, and things like that, I think a lot of the time, if you have been to exchange or you haven't been to exchange, you might not realize what does each of these one person actually mean or what does each of these one number actually means. So one interesting fact is that if you look at one exchange, this is my own personal experience, one person that go for exchange is actually impacting the NGO, the project, or the entire community that he's working with for 6 weeks. It's part of EP's development, which is this blue person who go on exchange, this person's development itself, and it's also an Isaac's development. So what does it mean by Isaac's development is that Isaac will only be able to see impact and experience the development of doing operation, like let's say learning how to do marketing, learning how to be EPM, learning how to manage their project, manage customer experience, customer flow, feedback, marketing, blah, 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 all this kind of thing, only if exchanges happen. So imagine if in a team of 10, and you only, like I have 10 people working for whole one term, we deliver 3 exchanges in the end. Compared to 10 people who are working in one team, we deliver 100 exchange in the end. You can kind of understand the level of development and Isaac is going to experience as compared to the one that delivered 3. It's the same for the community and EP's development. If there are 3 young people, Malaysian, that go out for exchange, it's only just 3. It means only 3 drop of water or the ripple effect is going to happen and only 3 EPs are going to be developed. That is why behind all these conversion rate, number, blah, 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 all this kind of thing, always remember that whenever we are fighting for growth and things, that one person actually means a lot to different stakeholders they are dealing with that one exchange itself. Yeah. So which is why it's very important for marketing and OGV to put together because if that one person does not go for exchange, in the end, nothing really matters. Yeah. So of course, in synergy wise, other than working with OGV, who are we working super closely with? Before going to who is that, of course, first thing first is that why is synergy so damn important? So the thing is that first, we need to know where we are heading together as a team. What are we achieving together, especially with your OGV or even your whole EB team, FLPM. People need to know what am I contributing in the product itself. Because in the end of the day, FLPM, PD, OGV, every department exists to make sure more people can go for exchanges. So first thing first is knowing where we're heading together as a team and what are we achieving together. Second, knowing each other's progress and lows so that we need to work, we know what to work on effectively. And of course, third thing is When you have people who are working on different areas to give you different brain, different perspective, different idea, you can actually definitely have a better solution than seeing it within your own department itself. So, what are the key synergies that will happen? OGB B2C, usually you will talk about how are our goal versus actual updates, plan versus actual updates in terms of like how are we progressing, attraction analysis, are we doing correctly, attraction strategies as execution in terms of like is our attraction marketing strategies working, consideration strategy execution, are we converting the people, overall members productivity and efficiency, are we having members that are working correctly on the right strategy and on the right commitment and L&D of the function? Do we educate our people the necessary knowledge and skills and all this kind of thing? Everything has to be super aligned between OGV and B2C. So PM and marketing, how do you work together? Make sure that team standard implementation is done, because you can get a lot of results and you can not get a lot of results and things. But one of the key issue is that a lot of the time it doesn't directly reflect the team situation. So for example, if you get a lot of results, you think the team is performing very well, but all of those things are done by VP and directors. So it doesn't show the entire empowerment happen and that you are going to face pipeline issue in future. So here is a space where PM and marketing, you're going to sit down and discuss how can we improve the team situation. PDB implementation, are my people are being in the team because they know why I change matters, because they know what kind of personal development they are seeking through these processes. Peer response rate and implementation, do your people are on the right PA, which means are they committed and are they doing the right thing at the same time? Yeah, because if you are doing the right thing, you will have a high PA score because you got results. And also, if you are committed, you will have a high commitment score. But if you can have a high commitment score but low result, it means you are doing the wrong thing. For example, L&D implementation, your team being educating the team in the right thing and all this kind of thing, and also get for every function. Of course, most importantly, do you have enough people to even run the product itself? Yeah. So LCP with marketing together, overall goal versus actual, plan versus actual, main strategy implementation. LCP play an overall role in terms of like giving you consultancy in terms of what went wrong and also what can be improved. Finance and marketing, product budget versus actual. You want to run marketing, you need budget for sure. Yeah. Cash flow review, investment. How do we invest to make sure we can upscale the strategy? Investment for consideration, for example. Yeah. So these are the key stakeholders. You need to work super closely as LCVP together so that your strategy is correct and it's also being upscaled. Yeah. So of course, next most importantly is timeline. So in summer, basically November and December, which is like now, the key thing that need to happen is market research, where you understand all your customer persona, who are you targeting, what countries are you sending the people to, blah, 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 product packaging, IR, projects, packaging. So the key thing is that you make sure you already have your projects and target the market since after December happened. And then December, if you need to secure any sort of market, you already should be securing. Yeah. And then also December, the time when you plan all your attraction strategy, preparation, design, product packaging, blah, 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 and all this kind of thing. But also remember that when you are promoting summer, at the same time, of course, your winter is still going, right? But that is more like your predecessor job to make sure brand advocacy is happening at the same time. Yeah. So going into February and March is when, no, actually even January, you are already starting your marketing, starting your everything, attractions and everything. January all the way. Somehow in Malaysia, we always do it until March or April, and then follow up and list calling, lead nurturing, conversion, and everything. So this is your main timeline, and then brand advocacy will actually happen here. And by May, you already prepare for another round of brand advocacy, and then your brand advocacy happen in summer itself. So how, and also along the way, what is the thing that you will never stop doing is data analysis and reporting, content submission on national level, or continuing to work on improving the strategies itself. This is the major timeline, global timeline as well, that we will never miss. Yeah. So the key issue here is that a lot of the time people only start doing recruitment on February, or they only start wanting to do their attraction like March or February, which is already too late because you should be starting ever since January. January, pick out all your mistakes, try out all the things that you need to do, and by February you should go full force already. Yeah. So tips is that first, really know your channel and metrics. In marketing, everything is about measuring whether it's working or not working. So for example, you put out a Facebook post there and you say like, hey, I've already done marketing. I think I've completed my job. But the key thing is how do you measure if the post actually really link people to actually sign up? You have to be super data obsessed in a sense that every flyer that I give out, so let's say there's a website link there, I know exactly how to measure to know if my flyer is working. So how do I know if my flyer is working? There's a website link there. If people go through the website link, like bit.ly link, and I measure, then I know that, this flyer is actually working. Right message, people come in, they sign up, they apply, they accept, they approve. But if you're given out 1,000 flyers, your FL need to know, hey, I give you so much money to brand this thing. Does it really work? The thing is that a lot of the time in marketing, people don't really measure. So they come with all these kind of creative ideas that, hey, I want to do this, do this, do this, and do this. But in the end, nothing is measured. So we don't know. We never know what is working and what is not working. Yeah. Knowing project selling is very, very important because nobody is going to sell 120 countries to confuse the customer in what is happening. Imagine walking into a restaurant, they give you a bubble milk tea, what is that? Bubble milk tea menu, and you have like 200 flavors. Compared to a restaurant that give you two bubble milk tea flavors, uh, usually, what do you think is the restaurant that will sell higher bubble milk tea? It will be the one that is only with two because people feel the credibility, the relevance, and also the entire professionalism of the seller itself instead of having like 200 kind of flavors. So it's the same thing that we apply in Global Volunteer. It's too abstract, it's too confusing for people to know that I can go to 129 countries, but instead, we do our market research thoroughly to make sure we know what are the projects that we want to promote to each kind of student. Finally, knowing your goal, target, channel, and message. This is the practice that you're going to do again and again. What is your goal? 10 approval to MOC project, for example. Target, I wanted to target Malay students that are learning Chinese in university. Channel, how do I reach out to them? I go to their Chinese class. Message, you can brush up your Chinese language by going to exchange at the same time impacting the community there. Clear cut, everything, plan, strategize, and also structure. Yeah. So I think final message is that this is always a myth that marketing, we need a very creative profile, but marketing is all about data and not creativity. Of course, we can be creative. It's nice to be creative. I'm a plan myself. I'm a idea generator myself. But the key thing is that if without data, you are just going blindly in all the ideas that you're having. So the key priority in marketing is always about data and measurement. What works, what doesn't work. Then you innovate from all the data that you get from there to amplify certain things that actually work and doesn't work. Yeah. So I think we'll go into a quick Q&A. You can spend some time to think about what are the questions that you want to ask, and then I will be answering your questions. So when promoting IR projects, usually we rely on IR partners' marketing material or we make our own. So Adam, in this kind of situation, you have to be proactive because the thing is that when you're working with another entity, there are a lot of things that cannot be controlled. So first thing first, what we usually do is that we ask for material from IR partners, but at the same time, I will always make sure I do my own marketing material. Because the thing is that no matter what is the material that I'm gonna get from, let's say, Isaac in Vietnam, it's not gonna be super customized or cater to my customer profile. So for example, I want to sell environment project from Vietnam to my environment faculty students. I will take their material and amend it to be like, hey, do you want to have a summer to work on environment projects in Vietnam supported by faculty of environment after you have done your UR? Things are super customized and super targeted so that your customer will feel totally engaged and relevant towards the product straight away. Yeah, because your IR partner is not gonna be that accurately targeting to the right profile that you are looking for. Yeah. So that is the thing. Wish to know Facebook merging direction. Is it still ongoing? Yes. So the thing is that we are still trying to merge all the Facebook pages by next summer as well. But so far the situation is that from previous merging, we are stuck on the phase where Facebook does not allow us to merge because of some technical error. So now we are actually still finding people who has the capacity and the skill to help us to continue to merge the Facebook pages. Yeah, I think if you were to know about importance of merging a Facebook page and things, we can talk in another topic. But then Facebook pages is still gonna be merged. What marketing tools can we use for marketing research? I think there are different methods of doing market research. You can do by Google Form, you can do by interviewing. It can be just as simple as a conversation with your customer profile. But the thing is when you are doing market research, the most important thing is not marketing tool. The most important thing is what you want to know from your market research. So you have to spend 80% of your time defining objective of market research. What are the things that you are trying to get out from that? Then only you go into thinking about, do I interview? Do I ask them? Do I call? Do I just observe maybe? Yeah. So one example is that, for example, I wanted to know all the customer persona that are happening, they are having in our university. So I just pick one EP from each course and I interview the EP thoroughly. What do you like to do? Why do you go for a change? What is your concern? Blah blah blah, and all this kind of thing. Then from there, I identify if those things that I'm getting from the interview is enough for me to create my own persona, for example. Yeah. So usually the key concern will be the objective instead of how is the tool is being done. Can B2C help IGV projects marketing as well? I think probably yes, but I wouldn't recommend. Highly do not recommend because for me, you should have your own marketing in charge under IGV department itself because there's no education, there's no anything that is gonna help. That's gonna like from MC or even in the direction of planning and things that is gonna involve IGV marketing like in B2C department. So and also because in current structure, the whole B2C or marketing department exists is to help OGV uh, to grow as a product. So if really you want marketing department to happen under IGV, it should be under IGV. But the most you can do is let's say provide education or certain kind of basic guidelines to make sure they know what to do. Yeah. Okay. If you want to add on more questions, you can still ask. Any more questions? If you don't have, you can just wave so that I can understand as well. Okay, awesome. So I think out of like many information that I've mentioned just now, the key most important thing is that remember to go back to look at the tips which I mentioned. Key three things that you really need to know about the direction of marketing is that first you really know to know your channels, metrics, how do you measure it? Yeah. And then knowing project selling, what is IR, how do you select project, how do you map to your customer persona, knowing how to do go target channel and message. That will be the key preparation that you need if you wish to apply for marketing. And of course, if you have any more questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. At this is my phone number or this is my email. You can just text me on Telegram. If I don't reply, text me twice more. Yeah, because I have two commission, OGB and marketing, so sometimes I will reply a little bit slow. But feel free to just contact me or you can contact any of the NST from marketing because they also equally have the competency or the knowledge about marketing as well. Yeah. If that's the case, everyone do not have more questions. I think that will be the end of this live sessions. Thank you for coming, and also I'm very happy to host a space for you. And I wish you all the best in your applications. Yeah, any more questions, you can always just ask me, and I'll make sure I get back to you. Thank you so much.